I don't do a lot of videos. I don't live stream. But I did a lot of thinking last night. I couldn't sleep, and I wanted to get on here and ask some questions, or not really ask questions, but give people maybe some food for thought. Again, last night, somebody was hurt. And it got me to thinking about a lot of things that have happened, over the last however long it is I've been off and on here. How much is enough? When is hurting others going to be enough? I'm not going to mention any names because there's no need. There's absolutely no need for me to. Anybody who knows me or has known me in the time that I've been on here knows that there's one particular person, I'm just going to straight say it, I don't like. And we have fought back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And then finally, and I admit, I caused them hell, and they caused me hell, and that's just the way it was. And I stepped away, and I was real tempted to go watch their content, etc. But it didn't do anybody any good. Well, it's went from back then, people were just basically hate watching content, to where it is now. And where it is now, it's really starting to scare me. It has spilled over from hate watching content online to actually coming offline into people's real lives. There was a person who was accused of doing something or having part of something that they didn't have anything to do with, but they caught all the grief from it, to the point of another person being arrested. I think the charge was cyberstalking, but I'm not 100% on that. And it's sad. Just lately, somebody else came forward and said that they were the one who did the thing that started that whole catastrophe, but yet they weren't the one who got drugged to the, into the middle of it. And they didn't step up at the time and say, wait a minute, no, it was me and not this other person. And people are calling CPS on people, and people are calling whatever, Social Security and people's jobs. And I mean, people's livelihoods are getting brought into this, and people's personal information is being put out there for basically no reason whatsoever. I guess my question is, everybody has a breaking point, whether it's, I mean, people break, I don't know how to say this exactly, whether they themselves break and harm themselves, or they break and they harm somebody else. When is enough going to be enough, and how much is too much? Is it going to take someone harming or killing themselves, or harming or killing someone else, before all this stops? It has to stop, It's out of control. Like I said, there was one person in particular that I went back and forth with. But it was online. I never considered going and harming this person, and to my knowledge, they never considered coming to me and harming me. But I'm not sure that we're not almost to that place. And it's scary. It's scary where we're at now. It's scary that people are having phone calls made on them, whether it be to their job or whatever, that it's actually, could have taken their livelihood away. And I've heard, it's went so far that people have lost their jobs. I don't know everybody, and I was gone for a while, so there's a lot of new people that I don't know at all. A lot of people don't like me for various reasons. I'm not always the most likable person, and a lot of people do like me. God knows I've not been lily white innocent the entire time I've been on here. But I've never taken it to the point where somebody could, lose the roof over their head, or wanted to cause harm to themselves or to harm someone else. You know, there has to be a point that enough is enough. I don't understand how some people's mind works. Hell, I don't think any of us are psychiatrists. We don't have that knowledge. So, the old adage is, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. Well, I'm not one to give that advice. But even at my utmost worst, and I do have a worse, I'm not going to take it so far that people are going, to make phone calls where people could lose their children, lose their home, lose their abilities to be self-sufficient. People's gonna fuss, and people's gonna fight, and people's gonna argue on here. But do your fussing and fighting on here in a video. Keep it out of real life. I mean, seriously. Stop and think before you pick up the phone. Stop and think before you don't know if you're driving someone to either lose what they have, or you're going to push them to taking their own lives, or you're going to push them to possibly coming and taking yours. I mean, stop and think before you make an action that you can't take back. That's all I'm saying.